Rise ye ashen tarnished chosen undead, and welcome Souls fans, new and loyal, to the Demon Souls Platinum Guide. Easy to follow, we're going to make your Platinum as easy as possible and beating this game, which not one of the most punishing Souls games, but definitely has points that can drive you insane if the build is wrong or you don't know how to get your way around a certain fight. So we're going to make this as easy as possible for you. As always, I have created a new account, no trophies, so that I can follow along and make sure that the guide is guiding you to your Platinum. You are going to want to play offline. Now, this is very important. 2 trophies are online trophies. You need to invade and kill a host, and you need to invade and assist a host in killing a phantom. I will explain how to do both of these trophies. The easiest way is if you've got a friend who has the game, they summon you in, you either kill them or you help them kill a very specific boss, which is guaranteed to count as an invasion. That's going to be the easiest way. I will cover that following the guide along. But those are 2 online trophies. For all other times, you are going to want to play offline to avoid getting invaded yourself. Body type. Now, body type does make a slight difference in this game. So we are going to go type A for female, specifically because it means we get access to a pair of braces on our arms, which give us more souls from fallen enemies. The key difference between the 2 body types, male and female, is exactly that. There are very few armor types that are designed specifically for either female or male body types. So that's what we're going to do. Body type A, so that we can get as many souls as possible. Whoa, check out the eyes on this one. Player name, whatever you wish. We will go with DBN for me, for Drew by Nature. Starting class, we are going to pick Temple Knight. This is going to give us a high starting vitality, high starting endurance, strength, dexterity is where we need it to be for the entirety of your first run, and a nice high faith stat. We are going to abuse the heal miracle throughout this run. Key thing with Demon Souls is you do not have an Estus Flask. It is all consumable healing. Think Dark Souls 2 with the life gems, but with no Estus to back it up. You are purely consuming herbs to recover your health. Therefore, having a heal spell makes our life a lot easier. So Temple Knight, starting gift, we're going to pick the Providential Ring. One of the trophies in this game is to collect all 30 rings. So let's start off with one of them. Plus, to be honest, the rest, they don't help you at all. So Providential Ring. It is also one of the harder rings to pick up. So absolutely recommend to start with that. Appearance, well, hey, that's a thing. Feel free to do what you wish. I am just going to change my default because yeah, there we go. I'm not going to waste any of your time going through any further character appearance because we're not going to see the character's face for pretty much the whole game. So there we go. Finalize.
King Alant the 12th.
I'm going to skip the cutscenes. As always, my high recommendation is if you have not seen them before, watch them. As with any Souls games, the lore, the story is fantastic. Oh, the other thing that we get for the Temple Knight is we get a 100% block shield to start the game with. So, all I was going to say before is watch the cutscenes, take in the lore. You know, really do encourage you to soak up what this game has to offer. But I'm going to skip the cutscenes because that is time, unfortunately. I'm going to recommend you get used to putting your talisman on your offhand, your left hand, as we're going to put a bow in our right hand as early as we can. So that's just good practice to get used to. Remove the chest and the arm armor. And what you'll notice is in the top right equipment burden, we are now below 50%. We're on 48.1%. Going to double check my settings. Just make sure there's no motion blur. Auto-equip items, turn that off, definitely. Up to you if you want the show helmet on or off. Precision aim, hold. Trigger effect, turn those off. Immersive vibration, up to you if you want the vibration or not. Controller speaker. Display, there it is. Motion blur, get rid of that. Visual mode, we want to prioritize performance. There we go, lovely. So we've taken off the chest, taken off the arms, we're below 50% on our armor. If it is your first playthrough, you have the journey to the Nexus to go through. It's just a little tutorial area. As you can see, I only got 2 souls for killing that dreg. You cannot die in this part either, so just a point of note for you. So if you are not familiar with the game... Oh, come on, guys. If you're not familiar with the game, on these messages, read those and it's going to tell you what the basic controls are. We're going to grab Crescent Moon Grass, which is a very small amount of heal for nomming on some of that. It's fine for the beginning of the game, however, very quickly is going to become not enough. Might as well ignore the enemies here. We're just going to come around the corner, grab some more grass. If you have played the game before, so touch the Archstone. If you've played the game before, it will give you an option. Do you wish to perform the journey to the Nexus? My recommendation is no, unless you specifically want to fight the Vanguard Demon at the end. It is a completely optional boss, in inverted commas. Yes, you start the game with a few extra souls. The actual main benefit of doing the journey is after you beat that demon, you get a bunch of upgrade materials. Now, because let's put half moongrass on our items, so that's the next level up of heal. The grasses and everything that is a guaranteed drop, they will automatically be given to you even if you choose not to do the journey to the Nexus. So the only thing is, if you beat the demon, you get, I think it's only a couple of thousand souls, but you do get some hardstone and sharpstone chunks, not chunks, stones, well, just some hardstone and sharpstones, which are used as the first levels of recovery, of reinforcement to reinforce your weapons. So think Titanites from the rest of the Soul series. In this, they've all been split out, so you have hard stones for strength, sharp stones for dex, and then you've got a whole bunch of others. So you've got moonstones, cloud stones. There's a stone for everything in this game. But it's a tough fight. I'm gonna demonstrate the fight. So this is probably the easiest build to do this fight with because you have 100% block shield. So the Vanguard Demon, all you want to do is get behind him, roll the attacks, one hit, shield up, roll, and this is what you want. You want him to rinse, repeat. Get one hit in. If you're blocking, you're likely to take some damage because your stamina isn't enough to soak up the whole hit. If you get hit without blocking, you will likely die to a one-shot. But this is all you need to do. He's not that difficult, but the issue is there is zero margin for error. And all I was trying to show you is if you stick behind him, I might be too close. if I stick behind him, he should just keep doing that flying butt slam. That's all I want to show you. There we go. So watch out for shockwave, attack, keep behind him, and we just want him to keep doing that one move. There we go. Okay, that's all you want to do to beat him. However, because there is a fair chance if it is your first time playing, you may struggle, I'm just going to let him kill me. And that way, I'm not going to have any extra souls, I won't have any extra upgrade materials. You are guaranteed to be able to follow. Also, it means if you do get the option to skip this, you can skip this because I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need anything from that to continue. Okay, here we are in the Nexus. So this is our fire equivalent of Firelink. This is our central hub of the game. Each of these stones, these are Archstones. These are the 5 worlds, because this broken one doesn't do anything. The 5 worlds that we are going to traverse to collect our demon souls before we fight the final boss, the Old King. Stockpile Thomas. So in this game we have 2 types of burden. In the top right here you'll see item burden. So this is, even if it's not equipped, having something on our person still weighs us down. So what we're going to do straight away, that armor that we're not using, we're going to deposit. Those gloves, we're going to deposit. Now the good news for anyone that played the original Demon Souls, something that has been instantly added and improved, is from the inventory, you can select an item and send it to storage. You used to have to come back here, go to Thomas, and then deliver. You no longer have to do that. The only world we can go to at the moment is 1-1, Bolitarian Palace, the gates, and that's what we're going to do. Big nice dragon cutscene, and then over we go. Immediately turn around. You want to grab these 2 late moongrass. Late moongrass, your mid-tier healing option, will quite quickly become your main healing method of choice. Oh, no. Come on, there we go. So don't be afraid to use your crescent moongrasses. That's what they're for. As I mentioned, they will quickly become outdated to small amounts of healing. Up we go, we're just bopping the dregs. If you can time it right with a 2-handed swing there, as you can see, if they're in the attack animation, they take counter damage, so they will take extra damage and get killed by 1 hit instead of 2. You'll notice, unlike my Dark Souls 1 playthrough, in this I am collecting drops from enemies. There is a key difference. In Dark Souls 1, enemies could drop Titanites, they could drop legendary weapons, the Black Knights early on as an example, whereas in this, enemies drop your healing wares. Yes, they can also drop, so if you notice there, I hung out here and forced those 2 to fall down the hole. But yes, enemies drop your healing items as well in this. In fact, more often than not, if they drop something, it is either useless or a healing item. So I am going to be picking up every floor loot because I want all the healing herbs that I can have. Anything that is not a healing item is completely farmed. in terms of what we need, and that's mainly going to be your hardstone shards, which are needed to upgrade your bow. In fact, I think that's it. We do some optional upgrading of a secondary weapon, which we use in the earlier stages of the game and in tight spaces, but again, all farmed. And as you can see at the moment, what we're doing is we're picking up lots of lovely grass for the American audience. Well, one specific region of America, I should caveat that with. Careful once you get up here, this guy up here will throw firebombs. So after you kill that dreg, just be wary. He may be ready to throw a bomb, so you might have to do a dodge before you kill him. This part is the most precarious part. You have a firebomb thrower behind. 2 dregs with flaming weapons there and explosive barrels. So all you want to do to begin with is just get away from the barrels, get away from the firebomb throwers, and then you can deal with the dregs. Come on, here boy. Let him throw the firebomb and then just stand there like a maroon. Any fans of Bugs Bunny? What a maroon. Trigger the boulder, come back down, run back up, bonk, bonk. Trigger the archer. Come on. There we go. Bonk. Before we go that way, let's open the shortcut. Just in case. Blue-eyed Knight. This is the first enemy that will pose a slightly harder fight for you. So try and get a backstab. Press triangle to dual wield, or Y on Xbox, and then bop. In here, make sure to grab firebombs, and we will equip the firebombs. Let him kill himself. If he's quick enough, the second one will also die to the fire, but he wasn't quick enough, so. Right, important moment. Bop these 2 chains. That's going to drop some items, one of which we need for a ring. The other is an armor set. I went too far. Tisk, Drew, you got carried away, didn't you, sir? Yes. Okay, what we should be doing is we come here, equip the firebomb. Wait, you can let me, there you go. Once you can lock on, you know you're in the right place. Up, and then launch. And then you come over to here, lock on, to the right, up a bit, Kobe, and there we go. Pine resin is a random drop. We do use it, but don't worry. We will only use the ones we get off the floor. As I said, anything that you need is farmed or it is a guaranteed drop. The only thing you need that is semi-guaranteed is your healing wares, which most enemies will drop. Now, the ring that we got dropped there, that is the Cling Ring. As you can notice here, our max HP is halved, because we are in soul form, we have died. If you're in body form, the good news is you get your full health. The bad news is if you die, it impacts world tendency. So you'll notice here everything is, it looks quite white. However, this is neutral state. When you kill an invading phantom or a boss, your tendency goes up by 1 or 2, depending on what you defeated. When it gets to +3, the world goes bright and shiny, and that is known as pure white tendency, at which point enemies are weaker. However, the drop rate is lowered and the number of souls you gain is slightly lowered. On the flip side, if you die while in body form, if you kill a positive NPC, or an NPC that is not aggro against you, then it will have a negative impact on world tendency. Once it goes to -3, then you go into pure black tendency. At this point, prime demons spawn. Now these drop colorless demon souls, which are very important, and we will be getting plenty of those. Also, enemies drop more souls, their item drop rate improves, however, they deal more damage and they have more health. So we need to do pure white and pure black tendency events in each of these arenas, and this guide is designed to make that as seamless and easy as possible for you. So we're going to maximize our efficiency. Now to do that, we are going to spend all of our world time in soul form. That way, if you do die, you don't have to worry about it impacting your tendency. The Cling Ring, when in soul form, it reduces how much health we no longer have access to. So we're going to equip Cling and Providential, and as you can see now, we now have 3/4 of our maximum health available. Grab the old Ragged set and equip the old Ragged set. Send the Maiden Greaves over to storage and grab the Jade Hair ornaments. That is very important. We need that as we're going to trade that with Stockpile Thomas for a ring. And just a reminder, we need all 30 rings. At the moment, we have 2 rings, so we are 2 out of 30 rings as we grabbed the Cling Ring. We are also 1 out of the 12 miracles required because we started with the Heal Miracle. We are 0 for 22 of the magics of the game. Magics are the combination of sorceries and pyromancy in this, so there is this single trophy for all magic. Before we go through the fog, we are going to get our extra 2,000 souls from the Red Eye Knight. The other advantage of starting as the Temple Knight with our 100 block shield is that we have a nice easy fight against the Red Eye Knight. Grab half Moongrass. Top up your health, make sure you're at full, make sure you have your shield at the ready, and our approach is going to be block and aim for backstabs against this. Now the Red Eye Knight, unblocked, will likely kill you in 1 hit, so if you are rolling, then you need to be extra careful. Come on. So you'll notice that I'm behind, however it didn't give him backstab. That's because he was still recovering from bouncing off the shield. But don't worry, the normal hit's still fine. All we're doing is keeping to his shield side, his left, our right. Now stay close. If he starts to back away, he is going to try and eat some grass. So just make sure you're right in front of him. So whether he attacks or tries to eat some grass, he takes a halberd to the back. Again, we're sticking here. The moment he moves, we bop. There you go, 2,070 souls. He should drop some full moon grass. And over here, we have an unknown hero soul. Some nice early levels we get from that 2000. Very much worth the do. Now, even with the weaker shields, as long as you have a shield, he will still deflect off your shield. However, you will take some consequential damage, because if you do not have a 100 block physical shield, then you will take damage. Don't worry about that guy there. Over here, hold circle and walk towards. As long as you land on these boxes, you will not take any fall damage. And grab ring number 3 of 30, the Thief Ring. This ring we are going to use for pretty much the entirety of the game. So, will we equip it yet? Not yet. So, this is Oscar of OSTRAVA. We are going to help him out a few times as part of a trophy quest. And the first thing we need to do is we need to defeat these dregs, who are not gathering up for us. There we go. There's 6 of them in total, I believe. So what I like to do is use the fire bombs to thin the herd. And then drop down. Once you've killed them all, he will drop down. Grab the soul item, and then talk. He's going to give us a brass telescope. Hold on to the brass telescope. We are going. Don't send it to storage, because we are going to trade this with Sparkly the Crow. Come in front of the steps, walk away, and 2-man ambush. One will go for you. Oh no, or in this case both. Normally one goes for you and one will go for Oscar. Just be careful when you're attacking them. Do not hit him. He will not hit you because he is friendly. Even if he swung like that, it will not hit. And he's just going to say he's got something to do. Blue-eyed Knight's here. So get to the bottom of the... okay, I got too carried away. So just remember, be careful. Make sure we do not hit Oscar. You cannot afford it. 1 hit, you're probably fine. If it is a backstab or 2 hits, then he will likely aggro against you and you have lost his quest line. So it's very important you do not hit him. Also, obviously, you do not want him to die, because that, funnily enough, also ends his quest line. Okay, make sure you still got your firebombs equipped. You'll see why in a moment. Look at all these lovely exploding barrels. Yoink! That will kill all bar 2 of the dregs in this area, so just be mindful. Oh, 3 in this case. There we go. Come here for some hardstone and sharpstone shards. 3 of each. And what I like to do when you pick up shards, even if they're in your stock, they still count at the smiths. So shards, always send those to the storage, as that is pure weight that has no benefit to you, as you can use those items without having them on your person. So, this is what I wanted to do to the Blue-Eyed Knight, was have a nice walk behind. I thought you could be at the bottom of the steps, obviously not. Come back for the soul. Oscar will turn around, and that's as far as he goes. So we've defeated all the enemies that could potentially beat him up. And I nearly missed grabbing the scimitar. That would have been bad. Well, not terrible, we've got the halberd, but... Grab the scimitar. It's an easier weapon for us for the upcoming boss, which is a bit of a joke boss, to be honest, but... Right. Before we go any further, swap Providential for the Thief Ring. Now the Thief Ring, as it says here, become harder for enemies to detect. What this does is this greatly improves the aggro range. So as you can see here, we've got 2 enemies aggroed to us, and then the others kind of did the solid snake. What was that noise? Only once we got to attacking did we alert the last enemies. This is probably a lesser example than what I can give you in a moment. So you can see enemy here. In fact, let's show you. Okay, so no aggro. That should... No. Interested myself now what the actual range is. Really? Is it because I had the ring on? Is that why? I'm just... Okay. Take my word for... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Take my word for it. The Thief Ring and how much of the aggro range it significantly improves is absolutely why we'll be using this ring throughout. It makes difficult mob areas completely easy, as you can lure enemies one by one instead of worrying about, as intended, having to deal with multiple enemies at the same time. Now, before we go through the fog, we're going to come back, partly because we're going to grab that item from that archer who went flying, and partly there's some more easy kills. And early on, easy kills is a chance for more upgrade materials and easy souls. Ambush from behind. Right. Be very quiet. Lovely. Right. There is a merchant just through there. However, we don't need to buy anything from him at all. We don't need any weapons. We're going to get those easily enough from the game. It's going to provide us everything we need, and you should have more than enough grass. So, onward we go. Pop this. Make sure you're not stood in front, otherwise those are going to hurt. Just ask these guys. That's a gauntlet of enemies you don't have to worry about. 2 more coming just from the left, who should be spear and shield. Oh, and the odd fireball, of course. Right. Come to the bridge. Make sure you have the Thief Ring equipped. So. Here you go. As you can see, the swordsman is not engaging. Now archers naturally have a longer range, and all we're doing here is letting the dragon stay here until the dragon starts to do that. Only once the dragon starts to breathe fire do you come this way. Now this is normally where that red dragon is going to perch, and we are going to take full advantage of the fact that he's not there to grab some key items. We're not going to grab everything here, we're going to come back after we've killed that dragon. But you want to make sure you grab the grass, the purple flame shield, 2 soul items, and that'll do. You're safe down here to grab 2 Archstone shards and some more grass. And what I like to do here is if you press the touchpad on your PlayStation control, you can set some quick items onto that. I like Archstone shards and Age Spice. That's too greatly, so I'm going to pop that here. Fresh Spice is going to go here, and Stones of Ephemeral I'm not even going to try until I can read it. The Stones of Eyes, which turn you back to your human form or body form, those we're going to put on there as well. So, Red Dragon is back, and he's cleared the bridge for us. So we took advantage of the fact that he wasn't there to grab the purple flame shield and some soul items, and now we're going to take advantage of the fact that he has to fly back here. Ignore any drops. The grass is not worth it. Shield up when you get to the crossbows so that you don't take damage like that, and then quickly hightail it across the bridge. Grab the soul item here, and as it's here, the dragon's back. Pull the lever! Watch the cutscene if you've not seen it before. It's a cool cutscene. Out to the left. Bop, bop. Turn around. Bop, bop. Turn around again. Break these wooden bits and grab pine resin. As I mentioned, we will be using pine resin, and I said don't worry if you don't get any from enemy drops. We will use the one that the map provides. Come to the doorway. That triggers... It will trigger at least one, if not both of these. Once they have been dispatched, rush in and quickly... Oh! Okay, normally he will throw fireballs. So that's normally why I rush him. As you can see there, it wasn't much damage. So... safe either way. Get back to shield, ready for these. Oh, you annoying Phalanx. Okay, right. Right, so this here is a Phalanx. Weak from the back, annoying from the front. What you can do here, put on your Providential Ring, as Phalanxes are what drop hardstone shards, large hardstone shards. They also do the same for sharpstone, large and normal. I'm not putting it on because I'm worst casing. Now, what I don't want to do is have more shards than you. But there is a chance that they will drop some for you, and that means when you get your bow, you'll be able to upgrade it without having to do much or hopefully any farming at all. But as you can see, what I'm trying to do is get behind them. Not only does it mean they can't hit you, but it means you're not trying to attack through a shield, which will take most of your damage away. Bottom of the stairs, grab the grass, pull the lever. I did grab the item from the balcony, didn't I? I can't remember now. Yep. And there we go. Back here we are. And the last lever we pulled at the top by the dragon opened the boss gates. Equip the scimitar. Take off Crescent Moongrass, it doesn't heal enough for a boss fight. Put on Pine, take off Firebombs. So there we go. We're going to use half Moongrass to heal if we are at half health. If you get low on health below half, use a late Moongrass. However, this is very straightforward. First of all, let's use our Heal Miracle to top our health off. Two-hand with triangle or Y on Xbox. Press square to activate your Pine Resin. And in we go for the Phalanx boss. And it is just a bunch of these Phalanxes. Ow. Super weak to fire. And the big boss body actually cannot attack. So it is purely, the more of these little guys we kill, the less it can do to us. So what you want to do, for the reason of souls and the potential smithing drops, we're going to kill as many of the little guys as we can. But yeah, as far as first bosses go, this is an absolute joke. You know, I look at Dark Souls 3, and you've got Hero Gungnir as your first boss fight, and that is tough. And then you've got this in Demon Souls. Okay, these two are not going to do anything. So okay, we'll just pop them at this point. But as you can see, the big guy himself has literally no way of attacking. He relies purely on the littles. Let's see if I can get one more little. Nope. And there you go, your first trophy. Phalanx's trophy. One of 37 trophies, although it's technically 36 because the last one, as always, is your platinum / all achievements. Grab any drops from the little ones. As you can see there, some hard stones and sharp stones. As always, send materials to storage. Am I going to send the halberd? No, not for now, because we will use that. So, re-equip the halberd. I'm just checking if there's anything I want to put into storage. I think we are perfectly fine for now. Lovely. And when you defeat a boss, as you can see here, we are back to full health. We are back in body form. So the first thing we're going to do after bosses, firstly, touch the Archstone. That's where the boss's soul is. So make sure you always touch the Archstone to get the boss soul, and then head to the Nexus. If you skip that, and you've never played before, you will not know that you need to go find the Monumental, and you won't know what the Monumental is, and you'll end up going, what the hell do I do? And then you'll have to look at a guide. Thankfully, you're playing a guide, so I'll be able to show you what to do, because it is not necessarily the most intuitive of things. Before we do that, let's talk to Stockpile Thomas. Talk. He's going to tell you that he abandoned his wife and daughter. Back out, talk to him again, and he'll recognize the jade ornament that belongs to his daughter, and that one of those bodies that we liberated from the chains was sadly hers. He's going to ask for it. Make sure you say yes. Give yes.
Thank you. I mustn't forget. I found it. Anyway.
There we go. Ring number 4, the Ring of Herculean Strength. This ring, do not confuse this with another one, raises item carry capacity. That is not your equipment carrying. It will not impact how much armor you can have on. It is your inventory item burden that it increases. So, now that we've done that, in fact, before we carry on, let's talk to Blacksmith Ed. No, so Baldwin. Ed is the other one. And repair your equipment.
You come back alive.
We don't want anything breaking on us. And now we're going to run all the way, not to the top, but near enough to meet the Monumental. There we go. And the Monumental is the one that still has a candle lit.
We have long eye one.
He'll give you a nice cutscene. If you've not seen it, have a watch.
Now
He'll give you some lore.
have you
And then, yes, you have to accept this. Even if you say no, you still have to go back and accept this. So
Yes.
just say yes.
the old one?
There we go. That's what's going to unlock everything. Stone of ephemeral eyes. Set that onto your quick bar, as we will be using quite a few of those later on. But for now, we take full advantage of the fact that after we defeat a boss, we go into body form. So, we've spoken to the Monumental, we've skipped the cutscene or watched it, we have said yes to accepting the challenge, we've grabbed the Stone of Eyes, we're now heading back. And when you get back, when you get to here, you'll note that there are these 2 extra platforms. Each of these leads to a rather nice item, or at least at the beginning of the game it is. Right one first, drop, drop, drop. You're then going to do a roll. Oh, roll to get to here. Drop, drop, drop to the right. And then, as long as you're keeping an eye on what's below, one more drop, and here is a soul item. A nice renowned warrior soul. If you are not comfortable doing that, before you do the drops, come all the way down, as one of the next things we're going to do is we're going to kill ourselves in the Digger King. If you accidentally dropped and you died, it's fine. We will explain. What you're going to do is you are going to use one of the stones to go human to carry on. So to save a stone, in fact, why am I even risking it? I don't need to. Okay. Ordering is obviously important. So now we're down. Speak.
Brave, pretty.
She gives you a white eye stone and a blue eye stone. Those are for online play, so you don't need to worry about that
What is
until right at the end.
Seek
Speaker
us
again. Seek soul power. Absolutely we do.
Let these back.
If you say no, don't worry. Just talk to her again and she'll ask you again.
I am here.
We now go to inventory. Spend all souls, including the lead demon soul. We do not need to transmute this into anything else, so use it. Use all of the soul items that you picked up,
Then touch
and then
all of the
leveling.
mind.
Right, leveling vitality, 4 of those to make that 15.
All the lost.
Endurance, 2 of those to make that 15.
Let strength be
And
granted so
strength,
the world might be mended.
6 of those to
So
make
the
that
world
20.
might be mended.
So 4 into vitality to make it 15, 2 into endurance to make that 15, 6 into strength to make that 20. There we go. So, although we do have enough for another level, we're going to leave it there for now.
Art, may thy strength.
And now go to the Archstone of the Digger King. So this is World 2. And go to the smithing grounds. So, if I go back to tendency, it's not very clear, but on the left, World 1 is now +1. It is slightly brighter than the rest, although it doesn't look too much until you get to +2. What we're going to do here is we're going to intentionally kill ourselves, and we're going to start bringing World 2 down to a negative tendency. Pop the Crystal Lizard, that will drop you some stone shards, which we'll be using for our bow later. Come around here, grab the Unknown Hero Soul, and before we kill ourselves, what we want to do, stand around here for a minute, and then run off the edge here. The reason we stood around there for a minute is we just want our souls to drop closer. Just, I mean, you don't need to. Worst case is there'll be, in fact, there you go, it's even happened. Worst case, they'll be somewhere around that cart, so make sure you retrieve your souls, and we're back to soul form. Double checking, yep, back to the Nexus. Now we're back at the Nexus. Let's grab the other drop items. So the other drop is a new moon grass, which is a full heal version of grass. We are going to send it to storage, but it is a good thing to have later on when we start getting more health. So drop, drop, roll again. Yep. Carry on dropping this way. Double checking. Yep. Drop. Ah, damn it. I think I was supposed to drop to the right. I was supposed to drop to the right. Oh well. Mistakes were made. It's fine. We can still do it from here. It's just easier if you go to the other side. Me confusing my notes. But there we go. Best case here is it doesn't matter if you die because you're in body form. It will have no impact. You just go get back your souls and you do it again. So as you can see, they are very heavy. 2 of these, they're 1.5 weight each. And given that we want to pick up some other things, in fact, the full moon grass we don't need at the moment either. I'm going to send all of those to storage as well. We also don't need the scimitar. That can go to storage as well. There we go. Drop. And now we're going to go across, or up the stairs to the right, to World 4, the Shrine of Storm. So, beginning of the game, we hop around a bit to pick up all our goodies. Here, we are coming to pick up our weapon for the early part of the game. For what, maybe a third of the game? No, it doesn't even feel like that long, to be honest. We don't use it for long, but it definitely helps. Lightning. Grab the grass. And this is where the thief ring really comes in. So, skeleton here. There's a skeleton archer at the top of the stairs, and there's another skeleton to the upper left. Here, because we have the thief ring, we can engage just the skeleton at the bottom of the steps. Now, sadly, you cannot get to this skeleton on the left without engaging the archer, and vice versa. So, what we're going to do... There we go. Trigger him, and just keep an eye on the archer, because the archer... As I mentioned, archers have a longer aggro range, because they are what they are sniping people. But once you've dispatched, you can then... There you go. He'll do it for us. thief ring. Be careful, do not go too far up the steps. You want to fight these skeletons one at a time. Just 2 hands, but that's fine. But yeah, so thief ring really comes into its own here. There's 2 archers up there, and those archers are not shooting at us because we have the thief ring. We've lured these skeletons one at a time because we have the thief ring. Everything is gravy because we have the thief ring. Ignore these items. The archers are going to see us at this point, and all we're going to do, there is another Vanguard Demon. First, left, there's a trap here that triggers these arrows, so just stick to the right, but just make sure you got your shield up just in case you do get caught. We're going to come left. There is a red eye skeleton knight. We are going to avoid him, grab the item, and we're going to go back to the start of this level. So there he is. Ugh, that's why. Grab the item and just roll out of there and run. Run all the way back to the Archstone and equip your Crescent Falchion +1. So Crescent means magic damage. So we have the benefit early game of we're doing a split of physical and magic. A lot of the early enemies are weak to magic, or they have less magic resistance than they do physical. +1, so we've got an extra buff to the amount of damage it's doing. So if we look here, 95 +10 versus 67 +82 +9. Also, in additional effects, you'll see there 120 onto bleed. So when you hit something 4 times, it will start to take bleed damage, which is damage over time. So Crescent Falchion +1 is going to be our weapon of choice for the beginning of the game. Touch the Archstone. Double checking, I reload the area. Yes, rest to reset area. Just double checking my notes. So Island's Edge, transport back to Island's Edge. And looking at the clock, that will be where we end video 1. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to bop these skeletons along the way to get some more souls. We are going to defeat the archers. We are going to defeat the Vanguard Demon. We are going to free an arrow merchant that we're going to use throughout the game. We are going to get our 5th ring. We're going to get a colourless demon soul. And then we are going to go to World 3. All of that in the next video. Hopefully you found the start of this and the start of your Demon Souls Platinum journey enjoyable and informative. As always, I would love to hear from you how things are going, any questions that you have. If there's anything I can do to assist you along your journey at all, I'm more than happy to do so. And all that leaves me to do is say a big thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video. And until then, bye for now.